You're here, right now, listening. And I'm about to tell you something you need to hear, something the world's tried to bury under noise, doubt, and distraction. You are enough. Not when you've got more money in the bank, not when you've got 1 million followers or a perfect body, not when you've checked every box they told you to chase. Right now, in this moment, as you are enough. And if you don't believe that yet, stick with me, because by the end of this, you will. Look at your life, really look at it. The battles you fought, the nights you didn't sleep because the weight was too heavy, the times you fell hard and thought, this is it, I'm done. But you're not done. You're still here, still standing. That's not luck. That's not a fluke. That's you. That's the fire in your chest that refuses to go out. The world's been screaming at you, telling you you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not good enough. But the fact you're still breathing, that's your answer, that's your proof. They've built a machine to keep you doubting, a system that says your worth is tied to what you own, what you look like, how loud they clap for you. Billboards, ads, social feeds, all shouting, you need more followers, more likes, more stuff. But let me tell you what the Stoics knew, what Marcus Aurelius wrote in the dirt of Roman battlefields. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your worth isn't out there in their hands, it's in you. It's been in you since the day you took your first breath. Think about every hit you've taken, every time life swung at you, job lost, heart broken, dreams shattered. You didn't just take it, you got back up. Maybe you limped, maybe you crawled, maybe you cried the whole way, but you moved. That's not weakness, that's iron. That's a spine forged in fire. You've been building something unbreakable day by day, fight by fight, and you didn't even see it happening. Every scar you carry, that's not a mark of failure, that's a medal, a testament. You're still in the game, and that's more than enough. Enough isn't about being flawless. It's not about never falling. It's about standing in the mess of your life, the chaos, the doubts, the regrets, and saying, this is mine, and I can carry it. The Stoics called it amor fati, love of your fate. Not just accepting the struggle, but embracing it, owning it, because it's yours, and you're strong enough to hold it. You don't need to be taller, richer, louder. You need to be you. That's the weapon no one can take away. Who told you you're not enough? Rewind the tape. Was it a parent who didn't see you? A teacher who wrote you off? A boss who overlooked you? Maybe it was you, whispering in the dark, I'll never make it. Whoever it was, they lied. Because the evidence is stacked against them. You're here. You've survived what should have crushed you. You've walked through storms that would have drowned anyone less stubborn. That's not nothing. That's everything. Let's get real. You've failed. You've screwed up. You've got dreams you buried because they felt too big. Good. That means you're alive. That means you've swung for something. Failure doesn't disprove your worth. It proves you've got skin in the game. Every time you fell and got back up, you added muscle to your soul. The world doesn't cheer for the spotless. It bows to the scarred. The ones who keep going when the crowd walks away. That's you. That's your story. You've got a fire inside you. Call it grit, call it will, call it whatever you want. It's there. It's the part of you that says, one more try. It's the part that drags you out of bed when your bones ache and your mind's screaming quit. It's the part that stares into the void and says, I'm still here. That fire's been with you from the start. Sometimes it's a flicker, sometimes it's a blaze, but it never goes out, and that's your power. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the stars to align, for the perfect moment, for someone to pat you on the back and say, now you're ready. You've been ready. You've been carrying the tools all along, every hard lesson, every bruise, every time you chose to keep going. You don't need their nod. You don't need their crown. You've already earned yours. You forged it in the heat of your own battles. Now listen close. The moment you believe you're enough, everything shifts. The doubt, it quiets. The fear, it shrinks. You stop chasing shadows and start building something real. Because when you know you're enough, it's not about proving anymore. It's about doing. It's not about begging for a seat at the table. It's about kicking the door down and taking your place. That's when you become dangerous. That's when you become free. You're enough because you've got breath in your lungs and a heartbeat that won't quit. You're enough because you face the dark, inside and out, and you're still standing. You're enough because you've got dreams that won't die, even when you tried to kill them. That's not weakness. That's a warrior's heart. That's a soul that's been tested and come out sharper, stronger, fiercer. Let's talk about the grind. The days you don't feel enough. The mornings you wake up tired. The nights you go to bed restless. That's not failure, that's fuel. Every time you push through that, you're proving it again. You've got what it takes. The Stoics didn't run from hardship. They leaned into it. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." You're not breaking, you're building. Every step through the muck is making you tougher. You don't need to be louder than them. You don't need to shine brighter or run faster. You need to be you, relentless, raw, real. The world's full of fakes chasing applause, but you've got something they can't touch. A quiet strength, a steady pulse, a will that bends but never breaks. That's rare. That's enough to shake the ground you walk on. Look at your hands. They're not empty. They're full of everything you've carried. Every burden, every victory, every fight you didn't walk away from. Those hands have pulled you up when no one else would. They've wiped tears, clenched fists, held on when letting go was easier. Those hands are proof you're enough. They've built a life piece by piece, even when the blueprint was gone. You've got a voice, it's yours, not theirs, not the crowd's, yours. And it's enough to roar through the noise, to cut through the lies, to say, "I'm here and I'm not leaving." You don't need to scream it, just mean it. That's power. That's the kind of force that moves mountains, that changes everything. It's been in you all along. Enough isn't a finish line. It's not a prize you grab when you got it all together. It's a choice, right now. You stand in the wreckage of your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you say, "This is me, and it's enough." Not because it's perfect, not because it's easy, but because you're still in the fight, still swinging, still rising. That's the Stoic way. That's your way. They'll try to drown you out. They'll tell you you're too small, too late, too broken. Let them talk. Their words don't write your story. You do. Every day you show up, you're rewriting the script. Every time you refuse to quit, you're turning the page. You're enough because you're the author of this. No one else gets the pen. You've got a heart that's been bruised but keeps beating, a mind that's been battered but keeps thinking, a soul that's been stretched but keeps reaching. That's not ordinary, that's extraordinary. That's you proving over and over that you're built for this. Built to endure, built to rise, built to win. Stop shrinking, stop hiding. You weren't made to fade into the background. You were made to stand tall, to take up space, to burn bright. You've got a strength that's yours alone, a story no one else can tell. And it's enough to change the game, enough to leave a legacy, enough to make the world remember your name. Here's the secret they don't want you to know. When you own that you're enough, you stop running. You stop begging. You start building. You start fighting. Not for approval, but for what matters. For your purpose, for your life. That's when the chains fall. That's when the cage opens. That's when you step into who you were always meant to be. You are enough, right now. With every crack, every doubt, every dream still kicking inside you. You're enough because you faced the fire and walked out alive. You're enough because you've got a will that won't bend, a spirit that won't break. You're enough because you're you, and that's the strongest thing you'll ever be.